if you're working as a Scrum Master right now, or maybe you're looking to hire one, or you're working together with a Scrum Master, you're not quite sure what makes a great Scrum Master anyway, right? What traits should they have, and what's their purpose? Well, a Scrum Master can be thought of as a force multiplier. That's one of my favorite ways of describing it, like a fulcrum under a lever. And a great Scrum Master allows you to lift much heavier loads, deliver much more value than you would have been able to without them. Whereas a bad Scrum Master will actually do the opposite. They will actually hinder you from delivering and achieving as much as you're hoping to do. And that's a scary proposition, because that means you definitely want to get your hands on, at the very least, a good Scrum Master, and ideally help them or find a great Scrum Master. So what are some of the traits you should look out for, and what is it you're hoping to get out of them? Well, a Scrum Master is there as a true leader that serves, one of the lines from the Scrum Guide, and they're there to enable the organization to succeed, essentially, to deliver more value by leveraging Scrum as the approach by which to do so, by solving complex problems. And their accountabilities are to ensure that Scrum is enacted as intended in the Scrum Guide, and of course the effectiveness of the Scrum team itself. And what is an effective Scrum team, you ask? Very good question. I'd say it's a Scrum team that is delivering value first and foremost, continuously improving, not relying on the Scrum Master, which sounds strange, I know, and also enjoying the way they're doing it. High morale is a great sign as well. But high morale without the other three in place, maybe not so much a good sign. Here we go. Quick break. Had to itch my lip. So what are some of the 3 traits you should look for? Well, the first one is a good leader. A Scrum Master has to be a leader, which is also why we keep iterating that a Scrum Master is not a junior position. It needs to be someone who's been there, done that, they've got some battle scars along the way, which means they've learned how to get along with people around them, how to charge into the fray, so to speak, when it's appropriate to stay back. A lot of these things require the wisdom gathered through experience. I met some incredibly smart and talented Scrum Masters, but who still struggle because they just didn't have the years under the belt of working in that environment, of working with people, being a leader, having done product management or product delivery before, and that is tricky. The truth is, in terms of product delivery, I struggled in the beginning as well. I was a project manager first, but I had worked as a leader before, and I had a lot of the other battle scars along the way, and the product delivery aspect was the one that I had to figure out myself. But the other reason leadership is such a critical trait is because it is a trait. You can certainly build leadership. I believe anyone can become a great leader over time. Most people are leaders in some aspect of their life already, usually outside of work. And it's about bringing that into the workplace as well to enable the people around you to succeed. And doing that encapsulates so many other things. I was very torn if trait number 1 should be leadership or courage, but to me, being a leader requires courage, which is why for me leadership is the better option. It's the option I went to for the first trait. The second trait is curiosity. You need a leader, certainly someone who can lead the charge and stay back when needed and enable the people around them, but you also need someone who's curious, someone who's going to ask the questions and poke the things that other people might not want to poke and go a little bit deeper, or as I like to say, be dissatisfied when everyone else is satisfied, because they're curious about what if we could be even just a little bit better than we are right now. A good Scrum Master is kind of always slightly dissatisfied because they should always expect and be curious about, well, what else could we do? What more could we achieve together if we just tweaked something else? Of course, they shouldn't be saying to everyone else that they're terrible. That's not what it's about. It's about that inherent curiosity of wanting to push further, try something more, try something new, see what different things can enable us to achieve even more value and success. And that inherent curiosity of people and processes and value combined with leadership is what makes a great Scrum Master. But there's one more thing that's needed, because leadership is great and curiosity is great. However, most Scrum Masters I've ever worked with, they share a common trait. which is not the third most important trait, but it's related to the third most important trait, is they are incredibly impatient. They would like everyone to ideally move at the speed that they're moving, which is usually much faster than everyone else wants to, because usually the Scrum Masters are already bought into the idea of changing, moving to Scrum, moving to Agile, changing all these processes, because that's what they're usually passionate about, is making changes to see what can happen, right? That curiosity, leading the charge along the way. Patience is the third one. Patience is incredibly important, because yes, every Scrum Master should be impatient, but even more importantly, they need to be patient. Patience is what's going to enable a Scrum Master to stay in it for the long run, to actually be a leader. A fully impatient leader is not a good leader. You need to be patient and understand that whilst you are willing to move at Mach speed, not everyone else is. And as a team, you only move as quickly as your slowest member. So sometimes you have to be patient. And the same is true for an organization. You only move as quickly as the slowest part of the organization. So you need to be impatient and keep pushing, but be patient and understand that some of these changes will take a long, long time. How long? Sometimes years. In one instance, I was working with an organization to get a different product backlog management tool, and it took us 2 years to get it. We got a trial for one team after 6 months, and after that trial and further procurement processes, a full 2 years from when we started having the conversation, we got it as an additional alternative tool for the Scrum teams in the organization. And that's a long time. But to keep pushing over 2 years, to be patient over 2 years without dropping the ball, that impatience was needed as well. That curiosity to, but what if we get this additional tool? What additional value could we unlock? And being a leader and inspiring others to ask the same questions, to continue pushing and being patient with them when they're saying that, hey, this is hard for me, I'm struggling, I can't move the speed you're moving. Okay, not a problem at all. Let's see where we can get to today instead. Let's not worry about tomorrow, let's worry about today. And take it one step at a time. In the back of your head, that little impatient brain is going, okay, but what next? What next? And those three traits together of leadership, curiosity, and patience makes for a Scrum Master that becomes a powerful force multiplier for your business. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Oscar with Pragmatic Shift. You can find more of our stuff under @Pragmatic Shift on all social media. I would love to be your Scrum coach. If you're interested in working with me, you can find my courses on pragmaticshift.com or about me as a coach under scrumcoach.uk. Please do like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out and gives us further reach to get to more professionals to help them on their journeys as well. Thank you again for watching.